Hey, Spuddies PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Let's Play Stellaris in the Megacorp expansion as a corporation. We are the Tortollan Mercantile Union, and we're making our way through the universe. We have a little bit of a combat to take care of here. Let's see, hunting them would be needless anyway, so we get the frequency tuning tech. Very cool. I don't know what that was. I think it was maybe space amoebas. No, the space whales. Okay. And our construction ship is sitting over here ready to help out. I'm going to tell him to just go camp out at the capital. Have we discovered these new people yet? Technically, yes. We built this mining station. Getting a +1 alloy mining station is quite good, actually. We're going to leave all of the anomalies behind for now because we just want to scout the world, find people, and get the diplomacy rolling. We're a few months away from getting the base trade protection, and there is a trade map mode, but it doesn't really matter right now because all of the trade that exists in our capital, so we don't need to worry about it at the moment. I'm not going to bother settling these planets for a little bit. I think settling these two really good sort of on the correct type of planets was fine. We've got a couple of desert worlds and some arid worlds. So this is hellish. We are going to leave that be for now. We have a construction ship over here. So there was no need to rush over here, but I will go ahead and secure this. And you're going to go ahead and survey these two systems for me. We want to secure choke points in the early game to block off bits of land for ourselves that we can come back and fill in if we want. System, I don't know how surveyed the system is. And we're going to expand to certain points. Now, there is a good argument to be made for going for this early, the expansion or discovery, but I think diplomacy has just that little bit of extra intrigue. Will make the game more interesting in the early game for us playing as a mega corporation. We're still going to be expanding because it's still valuable to expand. Let's skip that for now. We got a new technology. Leader cost is good. I would like the off-world trading company because it's a way for me to turn my alloys into other resources. And yeah, that could be good. So So there's a particular policy in here that I'm thinking about right now. So we can have 3 different trade policies. We can have consumer benefits, which means that for every trade value that we collect, we earn 1 energy credit. Or we can go for consumer benefits, which means for every trade value we collect, we get 1 energy credit and half of a consumer good. Or we could do a marketplace of ideas, which halves our trade value, but for every trade value we earn, we get a little bit of unity. I think the consumer benefits one is actually really valuable because this resource can be a bit of a pain to collect. And the normal translation of money into consumer goods is about... Actually, only the market fee makes it bad. But what it would allow us to do is to get rid of this civilian industry and maybe replace it with something else. It will hurt our income that we'll have to make adjustments for, but I think it's worth it to not have to worry about consumer goods. The marketplace of ideas is really good too, but I think just the consumer benefits is just that little bit better. Okay, and we will grab off-world trading company because that's a really nice one to grab in the early game because it means we can boost this up. So we're going to wait for the monthly tick to update our income. That's fine. And now what we're going to do is we're going to sell 10 consumer goods per month on the open market. This is our own personal sort of market. I'm going to set the minimum price so it won't sell them for under one energy credit a month. And this will be reflected up here. You'll see here our monthly trades. Now we're trading away the 10. Basically, we're trading away the 10 that's being generated, and we're gaining back basically we're in almost the exact same position we were, But now we have the option to replace the civilian industry with a new building. And I'm trying to think, what could be really, really good to get in the early game? Research labs could be really good to get in the early game, or I could just go hardcore on the alloy foundries and make a lot of star bases and fill them up with trade posts to generate lots and lots of trade value. And I kind of like that idea. So we're going to replace my civilian industries with this. This will, of course, change how our consumer goods layout is, but that'll be something that'll be a bridge that we cross when we cross it. We encountered a civilization. We can't build a new thing yet. That's okay. I like how there's different colors here. Since this is orbiting a place where it's getting upkeep reductions, it's green. This one is yellow since it's not. We will grab the secure shipping because we're about to start producing trading posts. There is a primitive civilization over here in the machine age. We shall be playing with them. The machine age is... I can't remember which age the machine age is. But I think it's... I have no idea, to be honest. We found an Arctic world. And the advantage of going for early alloys... Let's leave that be for now. So basically, before we start doing any more adjustments to our economy, we're going to be waiting to see how the alloy industry looks once we flip that over. And we want to make sure we have our economic policy set to a mixed economy. We could do a militarized economy, but I think we'll stay on a mixed economy for now. Now, since we may have the ability to generate a lot of consumer goods, one thing that we could do is have a look at our species and set their citizenship rights. Right now, we have decent conditions, but we could, for example, go to something like academic privilege, which would mean that rulers and specialists would have extra happiness, whereas we could do utopian abundance, where everyone is relatively equal. This does mean a lot more consumer goods used, but we could also do social welfare, which is a slightly better version in terms of the happiness that it generates for your people, but it does use up a lot more consumer goods. We'll make that decision when we see what our consumer goods situation is after we replace this building, but I think there's a lot of really fun things you can do with your with your economy and stuff like that now, and you can kind of really fine-tune things to be the way that you want them to be. And happiness is obviously really, really nice, because the higher your approval rating is, the more resources you get from jobs and the trade value. So we want to have really, really happy populations if we can manage it. But we also need lots of alloys in the early game to be able to build trade stations and ships and military vessels to explore and conquer, intimidate, all that good stuff. So let's see this reflected. This should jump down. So we are just going to completely cancel this trade now. And then we'll see that reflected in the next month's budget. So now we're losing some money. I'm going to just sell off a couple of these alloys per month to maintain our economy level, to have a positive income here. So we're, I think we're doing okay though. And we are going to... awesome, we found some exotic gases. You are going to leave that be for now. But now that we have a lot of this, let's see, where do we want to build a station? You are going to claim this system. We want to look for trade value. Are we capturing the trade value from here is the question. Indeed we are. So the trade value is being collected here. Of course, there's not a whole lot of trade value there, but it's fine. We got a new research here, the fusion reactor. We could do survey speed and automatic exploration. We could do physics research. I think we're going to grab the survey speed here because that goes really well with the map the stars edict that we have enacted. I think I also might put in either a recycling campaign or the healthcare campaign so that we could save up more consumer goods. I like the idea of the healthcare campaign. That'll just increase our growth rate, which means more population, which means more of everything. And you can see here that a certain percentage of our population is emigrating. We have a gain of 3 base, and 1.3 of them are emigrating over here to Wildor Prime. And if you see this, it has a base growth of 3 that's multiplied by 50% due to the planet only being a colony. But it's getting that additional 1.15 from thingy doodles. Now we can resettle people over here, and I think I can safely resettle 1 population here. So I'm going to resettle 1 pop over here, and it will be just a basic. I'll probably just resettle a specialist, and that'll be our second colonist, and that won't cripple this building, because you don't want to go below the population limit of the buildings you have, because that'll ruin them and they won't work anymore. We could get a nebula refinery here, which gives us mining station output, Corvette build cost. I like the Corvette build cost. It just makes building your army up a little bit cheaper, which is very, very nice. Let's go ahead and survey these 3 systems, which may be harboring cultists. We know this system is harboring cultists, and we actually have the money now to have a look at our ship designers. We'll auto upgrade the ship, but we'll take a quick look at it ourselves to make sure that it's everything that we want it to be. Yeah, that looks all good to me. We'll save that upgrade. We will upgrade these guys, and we will... I might actually just convert this to be a trade port, and then upgrade this station. Or convert this to be a shipyard, rather. And we will in fact do that. Then I'm going to build another Corvette or 2. What we're going to do is sell off our minerals, then buy up some alloys so that we can start building a few more ships. It's a really nice thing about the market is that you can kind of readjust your economy on the fly to do what you need to do. We'll be able to get another ship here. There we go. That'll bring us up to 8 ships total, which is a pretty good number. And we'll be able to turn this into a trading port, and this should grab trade value from the nearby regions and then transport it to the capital. Evading competitive fleet. It sounds like we found a very small fleet there. You survey here and survey here. We need to deal with these cultists. That's why I'm building up a little fleet. You have finished your exploration over here. Can you go survey these systems? Alright, we'll do the alien specimen trade chain, but we're not going to focus on it. It's just going to be something we do passively as we play the game. You may as well build a mining station here, since we don't have the influence to expand. I would like to get an observation station off of these guys, because it's actually worth quite a bit of research to be observing the natives. We haven't formed any factions yet, but I'm assuming they're going to be here in the next 10 or so years. They typically show up around then. Excellent. So this now has a double shipyard line, and we can grab this fleet now. And I think we can take these guys on over here. Leave this be for now. So we need to be buying a consumer good every month. We will add a new monthly trade. We will buy consumer goods. Just one of them. Just to cover our losses. And maybe we will sell an extra alloy to just cover that as well. So I love this whole market thing where you can rebalance your economy. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite features of the expansion, and in fact, honestly, the feature alone almost makes the expansion entirely just worth it. So here we have these guys. Let's fight them. Now these guys are mostly geared towards doing armor damage, whereas we're well balanced. We have a variety of damage types, so we should be able to do quite a bit more damage to them than they will be able to do to us. So our first faction has formed. This is the Committee of Technological Mastery. They want us to have 3 science treaties. That is something we might be able to do later. Oh, we almost lost a ship. We lost a ship. That's unfortunate. We will go ahead and grab the Federation, and we want to grab the Entente Coordination as well. These two don't matter to us so much, but we want the final finisher here, which increases our base trust cap by 50 and our trust growth by 33%, which basically means empires across the galaxy will be much more agreeable to letting us set up commercial ventures in their territory, which is exactly what we want. Okay, we destroyed the cultist fleet. We lost a couple of ships. That's okay. Let's go ahead and repair the fleet, and let's also reinforce the fleet. We have a science ship over here. Let's explore this little dead-end place, and then we'll come on over here.
Future market survey complete.
So we want to grab this because it has... it's on the way towards grabbing a new colony, and it also has this nice primitives that we can uplift or liberate later on as a vassal or something like that. It could be useful to actually uplift these guys as their own sort of thing. This is like, this thing is finished.
Evading competitive fleet.
So it looks like these ones are smaller, but I am going to let these guys build back up to their full strength before we go exploring over there again. And you can see our economy now is well balanced thanks to this wonderful, wonderful thing called the the Full Enfranchisement Center, thanks to the wonderful thing called the Galactic Trading Thingy Madoodle. Alright, so the population has almost grown here. So now we need to talk about how we were going to specialize these planets. Well, this planet for sure is going to be a farming world. So we will call this Agri Zone Wildor. And we'll build a agricultural district in here to give this population, when it grows, they will have a job. And the nice thing is, even if we're producing a big surplus of food, we can always just sell it on the galactic market. But if you specialize a planet towards a particular type of thing, it actually gets a special bonus towards that thing that you specialize it towards. So it's actually quite handy to consider specializing your planets. And that's kind of why I wanted to have lots of planets on the map, because it's easier to specialize planets if you have a lot of them. It's a bit harder to specialize planets if you don't have that many. And if you don't have a lot of planets, they kind of end up all just being kind of generic and bad. We will build the observation post first because I want the society research, which is really, really valuable because a lot of really useful techs are hidden behind this, like the Off-World Trading Company, for example. Speaking of the Off-World Trading Company, we are going to build a couple of trade hubs in here. And what the trade hub does, it doesn't really generate any value by itself, but every trade hub increases the range at which this thing can like scoop up trade value. So for example, if you build one trade hub, systems adjacent to you can have their trade hub scooped up. If you build two, another system out, you can grab trade value. And it looks like there's a bit of trade value out here that we can scoop up, so I'm going to build this up. Additionally, we also have lots of trading starbase capacity anyway, so it'll be quite handy to do that. Why don't you go ahead and build a mining station there? May as well get that. We're a little bit low in minerals though, because we are converting a lot of it to alloys. What we could do is we could sell some of these. We could sell another one of these alloys per month and then just buy a little bit of minerals. They're quite cheap. We could buy like 3. Just to get that little bit more mineral income to fill out our economy. Because that's going to be a big problem for us, is having not enough minerals. So just by rebalancing our economy a little bit, I think things can work out quite well. We're still up to 30 pop here. The agri-zone is now up to 3 pop. And it has a little farmer working away here generating food for us. And in fact, we have such a surplus of food, we can consider doing a growth encouragement, which will give us 25% population growth. Or we could just sell that 1,000 food and use it to buy minerals. Let's set up a monthly trade to sell off our excess food. There we go. To get a little bit more money that we can put towards these things. Intriguing. Probe the dimensional portal. Yes. Wildor Secundus has the project Probe the Dimensional Portal. takes 62 months, and it would delay our physics research. And I kind of want the physics research, so we're not going to do that quite yet. We do have the ability to investigate some aliens, so we will do that. We have an observation post available over here as well. So let's zoom in here and talk to this observation post. And it's set to currently passive observation. We could do aggressive observation, but that tends to have consequences. So we're just going to leave it at passive observation and get that 8 for now. We'll make more decisions about what we're going to do with these guys later on in the game. Whether or not we want to just leave them there, or if we want to uplift them. So on and so forth. Okay, you're doing good work over here. Why don't you keep surveying for me? Let's lock down this system over here, because we can set another colony over here. It's an 80% habitability world, which is exactly the kind of place we're looking for. And looks like it is not a very good mining world. I would really like a mining world. It could be an okay rural world. It's pretty big. You can have 8 of these. It could be a good rural world, which is basically a world dedicated to generating the basic resources of, you know, like energy, minerals, and food. Now, Wildor Secundus, I think, could serve well as some sort of city world, maybe? An urban world. We'll kind of have a little bit of a think about that. It's a little bit small. I could make it into a rural world as well. And just kind of leave it at that. Just kind of build all of the basic districts and have it just be this kind of producing basic resources that we can use. Let's have a look over here. This is my construction ship. Let's go ahead and build mining stations. Let's sell a little bit of consumer goods so that we have the money for a... that's the wrong planet. This one. So that we can purchase a private colony ship, which is far cheaper than the alternative. There's another ocean world over here that we're going to want to prioritize. I think we will go to here. Do you have the resources to build that starbase? You do. Okay, go ahead and get that done. I want to move towards this and see if we can colonize this as well. What is this world? It's another good farming world. It's a little bit small. I might just make this a rural world. Leave that be for now. This science ship over here is finished doing what it's doing. Let's go ahead and keep exploring. We want to find other civilizations so that we can start trading with them and stuff. I find the corporation mechanics and gameplay doesn't really take much effect until like past the first 100 years of gameplay, when the borders are kind of settled and interesting things start actually happening. We are going to need an anchorage as well to try and increase our naval capacity. We have not yet researched the off-world trading company because we're investigating the Delta aliens. That's fine. We have a construction ship available. Let's move here. You can now see that the trade route from Wildor is sending 4.4 trade value to our capital. You can see if I click on the capital right here, has 40 trade value, but my total trade value is 40 from the capital and 4 from trade routes, and that's being converted into consumer goods and all that wonderful, wonderful stuff. The nice thing about generating consumer goods is that we don't have to worry about actually using factories to produce them. Again, we're leaving all the anomalies to be for now, because we have other priorities, basically. Once you build those mining stations there, Agri-Zone is building up its population. Now, Wildor Secundus, we need to make a decision about what we want to do with this world. We have discovered the Valert centralized estates, and they actually share a lot of our ideologies. They share our xenophile and materialist ideology, so they'll be more than happy to form research agreements, commercial pacts, and all that sort of stuff. Now, these do cost some diplomatic influence, but thanks to the fact that we are xenophile, that will make it cheaper. And also because we went for diplomatic ideas first in our Unity, you can see here it's going to reduce our diplomatic influence cost by 50%. So we have a 75% reduction to our diplomatic influence cost right now, which is really, really nice. So we can actually just take all of these things, and it will barely touch our influence.
Upscaling complete.
You can see here, we're even though those things were all really, really expensive, we're only losing about 0.2 influence per month, and we're also gaining a bunch of money from the commercial pact, I think, right? But this is going to start building up our trust, and we will we will want to expand in their direction to contain them. Let's grab our fleet. Did I not reinforce you? I could have sworn I did. Oh, do you know what else I forgot? I forgot to get you an admiral. We will go for the eager guy. Eager is a lot better now because it actually reduces the upkeep of your leader, as well as well, this guy's actually younger and I want to keep my admiral around for a while, so we will get that admiral there. We have another unity point that we can spend, and there's quite a few good ones here. Expansion is really nice. For starbase upkeep, administrative cap, starbase influence. So harmony is quite good from what I remember, which gives you extra stability. The really nice thing about the expansion finisher is it gives you an extra district on all of your planets, which is really strong. Let's see, we could go for the leader lifespan, defensive war, unemployed pops demote faster, governing ethics attraction, pop amenities usage, food consumption and stability. Prosperity gives us mining station output, which is really, really nice because that means, you know, we just generate more base resources. It also means we get more strategic resources, which is really, really powerful. Building upkeep and district upkeep, specialist output. City districts have an additional clerk job. City districts provide an additional housing. This one's actually really, really powerful. Buildings and districts have their cost reduced. I think we're just going to finish off diplomacy here. Grab our Ascension perk. Now, universal transactions is quite good because it means we save a little bit of... it makes our branch offices cheaper, basically, and our commercial packs no longer cost influence. Leader level cap, leader pool size, executive vigor is quite good. Clear blocker cost. This one is also really good in combination with expansion, because it allows you to build your planets up much taller than they would be in the past. You can get a total of like plus 3 districts, which is a pretty sizable amount. Monthly unity, technological ascendancy, interstellar dominion. I think this one is really, really good in our current situation because there's a lot of world to expand into. Being able to do that for cheaper, and then I'll pick up expansion here for the starbase influence cost reduction as well, so that we can expand, because it looks like there's a lot of space that's worth expanding into, and right now we're very, very heavily limited by our costs. We have our trade hub here. Have we not unlocked that thing? 27 months. We found the Theta aliens. Let's investigate them. We want to get the influence from meeting them ourselves.
Potential market survey completed.
Okay, we're doing lots of exploration, and I tell you what, I think we're off to a good start here. There's a few places we should claim and stuff like that, but you can see the world is starting to take its shape, and we already have a commercial pact. I can't quite afford to put a branch office on their planet, although it would be really, really valuable. It would pay for itself quite quickly, actually, especially if I were to build the one that increases the value of it. So we might look into doing that. I can also get extra unity from building on them. We'll think about what exactly we do. But for now, I'm going to call that the end of the episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching me play Stellaris. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Please remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Remember to leave a like if you want to directly support my channel. And remember to leave a comment if you want to give me your feedback. Other than that, I want to say I love you all very much. And I'll see you next time.